Welcome back to Buy or Buy. Today we're looking at the 2003 and 2004 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra, known to every Mustang person as the Terminator. This was the supercharged, hand-built Cobra from Ford's SVT division, the swan song of the SN-95 New Edge era, and the last Mustang with an independent rear suspension until 2015.
Hand-built, supercharged 4.6 DOHC V8, Tremec 6-speed manual only. Factory rated 390 horsepower, but the dyno says 420 plus. Independent rear suspension. Only 19,140 ever built. 20 grand used today, 50 for a Mystichrome.
Section 1. Who and cross-shop.
So who actually buys a Terminator today? The profile is intensely specific. You're looking at absolute SVT loyalists, die-hard supercharger fans, and serious Mustang collectors. Then you've got your modular V8 tuners, the manual transmission purists who utterly refuse a two-pedal car, and of course, the fanatical Mystichrome hunters aggressively tracking down that legendary color-shifting paint.
But what else are they cross-shopping? Well, you've got the Pontiac G8 GXP running $25,000 to $55,000 for similar power, but with 4 doors. The Gen 1 Cadillac CTS-V sitting right at $18,000 to $45,000 for a manual V8 sedan. Then there's the 2007 to 2014 Shelby GT500 S197, packing way more power but, crazily enough, notably lacking an IRS until 2013. Or the 2003 to 2004 Mustang Mach-1, giving you that naturally aspirated bullet-style vibe for $20,000 to $30,000. Bottom line, the Terminator buyer wants supercharged, hand-built exclusivity that literally none of those can fully replicate.
Section 2. The Gems. Let's look at every reason this absolute legend exists.
Pop the hood, and you are staring at a 4.6-liter dual overhead cam 32-valve modular V8. And this isn't just any V8. This beast was assembled completely by hand at Ford's Romeo, Michigan plant and then topped off with a massive Eaton M112 Roots blower. Just look at the sheer over-engineering here. Ford actually ditched the previous aluminum block for a massively durable cast iron block. They packed it with a forged crank and Manley H-beam rods straight from the factory. This means the powertrain is built to easily handle 600-plus horsepower on stock internals with nothing more than a simple pulley swap and a tune. And hey, if you want an automatic, look elsewhere. Absolutely zero automatics were ever offered. Every single Terminator came exclusively paired to the legendary Tremec T-56 6-speed manual transmission. You have to row your own gears.
Underneath, the chassis hardware is what really defines this car. You get an independent rear suspension on an 8.8-inch axle. Again, the absolute last Mustang with an IRS until 2015. Up front, you've got 13-inch factory Brembo rotors with PBR 2-piston calipers, though honestly, tons of people swap in the 4-piston calipers from the 2000 Cobra R. It rides on 17-inch SVT 5-spoke wheels with a completely dialed-in sport suspension. And inside, you're treated to SVT-specific leather buckets with the Cobra embroidery, an 8,000 RPM tachometer with a factory shift light, optional suede inserts, and your choice of the Mach 460 or the absolutely booming optional Mach 1000 audio system.
Economically speaking, its original $33,395 MSRP back in 2003 was serious Corvette money. Today, standard cars will run you $20,000 to $35,000, while the 10th anniversary editions hit $40,000 to $60,000, and pristine Mystichrome cars command $50,000 to $80,000 plus. But here's the thing, with 19,140 total production, it's actually vastly more accessible than a rarer Boss 302 or GT500, and it's backed by infinite parts and aftermarket support. This car was literally the swan song of Ford SVT's John Coletti era, earning its internal Terminator nickname for a very good reason. Bottom line, the Terminator's incredible heritage and hardcore performance hardware make it an undeniable modern classic.
Section 3. The Issues. Let's break down the known flaws.
All right, let's look at the critical, wallet-draining issues. First up, the Eaton M112 supercharger snout bearing is definitely prone to failure. It'll cost you $800 to $1,500 to rebuild the snout or a painful $2,500 plus for a full supercharger replacement. Also, hard drag strip launches will absolutely destroy the IRS rear differential bushings and cause subframe stress cracks, setting you back another $600 to $2,000. Track abuse will completely chew up the Tremec T-56 manual 1-2 synchronizers, demanding a $1,500 to $2,500 rebuild. Oh, and keep an eye out for 8.8 IRS rear pinion bearing failures, because those will cost you another $800 to $1,500.
Moving on to the moderate issues, the intercooler heat exchanger pump frequently fails, causing massive heat soak and power loss. That's a $300 to $600 fix. The heavy factory clutch routinely wears out right at the 50,000-mile mark, which costs $1,200 to $2,000, and you also have to watch out for clutch hydraulic master and slave cylinder failures running $400 to $700. Add in fuel pump driver module failures that run $200 to $400, and standard front coilover spring sag, and it really starts to add up.
Cosmetically, if you buy a Mystichrome Terminator, repairing that legendary paint costs an excruciating $3,000 to $5,000 per panel. That is staggering. Minor issues are basically everywhere else too. Easy-to-curb SVT wheels cost $150 to $300 to refinish, mock audio speaker failures run $150 to $400, and convertible top motors cost $400 to $800 to fix. Plus, you get worn leather Cobra embroidered headrests, definitely dated 2003-era interior plastics, obviously no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, a pretty painful 14 city and 22 highway MPG, mandatory premium fuel, and you should probably just accept that any aftermarket pulley swaps completely voided the Ford SVT warranty decades ago anyway. Bottom line, you absolutely have to pay to play with a 20-year-old supercharged SVT vehicle.
Verdict! Buy. We enthusiastically declare this car a massive buy. It is without a doubt the single most over-engineered Mustang of its entire era. Ford gave us a heavy-duty cast-iron block, forged internals, a screaming factory supercharger, independent rear suspension, and a hand-built engine right out of Romeo, Michigan. Plus, every single one is a 6-speed manual, and with exactly 19,140 produced, it hits that perfect sweet spot of rarity and availability. So the absolutely crucial point here is knowing exactly which one to purchase. You need to buy any documented coupe or convertible with under 80,000 miles. You should verify the supercharger snout bearing and IRS bushings first. Maybe even grab a Mystichrome if you can find one at the exact right price. But seriously, respect that massive paint repair limiter. On the flip side, you must say bye to any cars with documented track abuse, completely slammed IRS bushings, or severe supercharger snout bearing rattle. Run away. Just remember, every single survivor out there features a manual transmission and what is essentially the LS of Ford, a modular V8 that is easily capable of 600+ horsepower on stock internals with nothing but a pulley swap. Bottom line, this is a hand-built piece of supercharged SVT history that commands absolute respect on the street. So I leave you with this. Will you hunt down the insanely over-engineered 600 horsepower capable Terminator, or will you say bye and drop your cash on a modern alternative? Think about it, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.